Joke's on you, Bethesda. I didn't update my game, and I launched it via the script extender. So guess who has a functional mod list still?
I've got something a bit different for you.
Not a lot of people, unfortunately. But nonetheless, we persevere. Yes, plenty more full modded challenge runs to come, but today we are going to be taking a look into a truly unsettling mod for Fallout 4, In the Flesh. Taking inspiration from classic horror films and games including The Thing and Dead Space, this mod brings a genuinely terrifying and immersive experience. Also with the Dead Space inspiration, I figured it'd be a great fit to play as our Isaac Clarke build before I change the mod list over. Anyway, this is another gem, so I present to you In the Flesh. Right, like most other horror mods, In the Flesh of course starts just outside Dunwich Moors, right here through this old grate. We are given no context or background information. We start by entering this strange cave, which has an elevator in the central chamber surrounded by some ominous pillars and sparsely scattered supplies. Taking the elevator down, very far down, it brings us to what looks like a derelict facility, or perhaps a laboratory. And it seems whoever was here was trying to keep something contained in it. Ignoring the warning signs, of course, we open the facility only to see a deceased scientist. On him, we find a key to get deeper into the facility, as well as a note, which reads as follows: I can't get out. Some bastard barred the door behind them. Can't say I blame them. I can't go forwards and I won't go back. Not in there. I can hear them beyond the door. Scratching and whispering. Veins growing on the walls like weeds. This wasn't how it was supposed to go. Tell Papa I love him. Oh, lovely, just lovely. Okay, so there is definitely something in this facility. Veins growing on the walls like weeds is certainly a chilling sentence. Opening the security terminal, we can open the door as well as see a biohazard warning. What can be more enticing? We open the blast door and enter the living quarters. It's cluttered, quiet, dark, and left in disarray. Something obviously went down here. This terminal here might give us a bit of insight on what the hell happened. Upon opening, we can see there is obvious widespread system failure. There is also a progress report we can read from a P. Hughes to H. Jackson, and it seems to be from Institute addresses. They read as, Sears, I'm pleased to say that we are making good progress. Installation 02 was an excellent find. Pre-war military R&D facilities being thin on the ground in the Commonwealth. The infrastructure is perfect for our needs, even if it is less advanced than Institute Tech. We've completed initial CAD projections and everything looks promising. We've already completed schematics for the mechanical elements of Project Fleshsmith 2.0. Once we've used up the testing materials, I would feel more comfortable in requesting the biomass and material order from the Institute. Yours, Dr. Hughes, Advanced Systems. Well, it seems this was a hidden Institute facility working on a project named Project Fleshsmith. As if that wasn't creepy enough, it also said something about requesting biomass. One can only imagine what they were doing all the way down here. Anyway, let's continue. Since fused with some strange, tenebrous-looking flesh, the same corrupted growths we can see on the walls, growing like veins. Lovely.
Don't have the key. way to pick this.
We can find the access card needed to progress here. Seems we found our way into Dr. Jackson's office. Maybe his terminal will give us some more context. Right, a lot to look at here. We have 2 entry logs, an emergency entry, and a lockdown protocol, and a group staff message. Log 44 reads, "The project is progressing well. Dr. Hughes has the engineering team well in hand. Some of the brightest minds from robotics and advanced systems are working just across the hall, and the designs are very promising. And the team down in manufacturing are producing excellent work. Dr. West is less forthcoming, despite his constant good humor. If it weren't for his reputation within the Institute, I would have likely had voiced my concern by now. In the light of his recent loss, I would have expected him to shut himself away, but clearly he's dedicated to burying himself in his work. Regardless, he remains universally respected as a brilliant scientist. I guess that's why he's project lead and I'm not. Well, we'll do our part. Let's just hope the boys in bioscience do theirs." Okay, so it seems the project lead was a tad eccentric and was dealing with some kind of loss. Let's read the group staff message. "Hello everyone. Thanks for the hard work and dedication of each and every one of you. The project has now reached its climax, the beginning of full-scale production. As you're aware, the raw materials will be arriving in the teleportation array soon, and I would love everyone present so we can celebrate our achievement. We expect transit at 1300 hours tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you there. Dr. Albert West." Alright, so it seems after the program's success, they were going to receive some sort of mass shipment of biomass, quote-unquote. What exactly said biomass was, I have no idea, but perhaps there was something horribly wrong with it. Anyway, next log. "Big day today. The requisition order has been processed and will be teleported to us any moment now. This is a major step in Project Fleshsmith and marks the beginning of the construction phase. Hughes and most of the team are down there now. Pity I couldn't join them, but there was some last-minute hitches with some of the attachment ports, and I'll be damned if engineering lets the side down. What surprises me is that while we've all seen the prototype Fleshsmith down in the cold works, Dr. West has yet to unveil his subject Alpha. Seems a bit like putting the cart before the horse and then the log cuts off there. Seems Dr. Jackson didn't get to finish his log. He was writing it during the biomass shipment, so something must have gone horribly wrong. The last log is an audio entry, which is written, and TLDR, it's an exchange between Dr. Hughes and Jackson. Hughes claims the synths are after him, and Jackson attempts to open the door, but the log cuts off before we find out what happened. Let's go ahead and shut down the lockdown. Alright, now we have a bit more context. This facility was working with some kind of twisted bioscience, with an obviously unstable man leading the project. They were successful, but upon receiving a large shipment of biomass, things went wrong, and that's why we found this facility in the state that it's in. All the more reason to push deeper. We make it to this vault-like door, which leads us to the workshop. It's terribly quiet. The large machinery lays dead, and the flesh growths on the wall have overtaken much of this sector. We certainly aren't alone either. We can push farther down and reach what looks like a staff briefing room, which has an audio tape for us.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Albert West. I am project lead for this little adventure into the grotesque. It's lovely to see so many familiar faces here, but also some new ones, and I look forward to getting to know all of you personally. So, welcome to Installation 02, your new home for the foreseeable future. We are currently sat in the workshop, where raw materials will be delivered and distributed into manufacturing and the cold works, ready to build the finished product. Upstairs are the computer-aided design labs and your living quarters. Downstairs is the transportation hub and, of course, the teleportation array. Now, this site was chosen due to its peculiar geology. Some property in the local rock deadens the energy signature of our teleports, meaning we can move large quantities of material without fear of detection. Handy, yes. Now, Dr. Jackson will be spearheading the mechanical elements of the operation, while I will focus on the biological, meaning the only member of the team you've yet to meet is Amy, or the autonomous mechanical interface. A robot of my own creation, she will be assisting us here in the workshop, especially with some of the heavy lifting. Feel free to go say hello, she doesn't mind. Anyway, we'll be starting tomorrow, so for now, let's all head upstairs and get you settled into your new quarters. I, for one, cannot wait to get started.
Just a little briefing for new scientists from Dr. West. Hopefully we don't encounter his little project as we progress. This is the central chamber of the workshop. There are vats of biosludge and what looks like blood, and some kind of horrid machine looms over the center. Yes, quite inviting, isn't it? Right, here's another terminal. Let's see if there's anything interesting available. Looks like we have a log regarding Dr. West and his key subject, Amy. Dude, you have no idea how much that thing weirds me out. You're lucky you're down there in the array and don't have to see her. You can just take a nice, cushy elevator straight up to the dorms. I'm stuck up here with her all day. Shit, see? I called it her again. Can you believe West actually put a face on that thing? And he did it because we said we were finding it hard to work with her. Man has no grip on reality, I'm telling you. Oh boy, right, I'm sure Amy is just a lovely gal. I'm not sure who was writing these logs on this terminal, but they seem to be responsible for all of them. There isn't much more besides a panicked message asking what's happening, similar to Jackson, a good luck message, and a very creepy and concerning diagnostics log for Amy. As we learned from the log, Dr. West apparently was completely deranged and borderline insane, so I can only imagine what his little arts and crafts project looks like. Let's move into the cold work, shall we? Anyway, if you were curious, no, it's not much better in here either. Right, once that's dealt with, there appears to be a recording next to this, heap.
Screaming. Whatever that thing is, it spreads so fast. I've got as far as the code works, but there's already something here. I can hear it, even if I can't see it. It sounds like it's everywhere. I'm gonna try and get to the secondary exit through living quarters. Hell, hope that creepy robot in the hub can help hold off these things.
Further down the corridor, we have this horrible-looking automated surgical table with some other strange apparatuses, and connected to this room is a storage system for the flesh smithed. There is a deceased example laying here. Reminds me a bit of Killing Floor Zeds, actually. But it seems they had quite a few of these things stored away. This room also has a terminal, not much on it though. If we take this door further down into the cold works, we can find a terminated courser. On him, we have a data log that details him flatlining, and concludes with the lines, "It creeps, it follows." Going further down this corridor, it seems this is where they were storing some of their little projects. Okay, by all means, my instinct to not immediately jump down a bloody elevator shaft is seldom incorrect, but in this instance it was. Lovely little swim. Okay. Visceral recreation aside, this next chamber seems to be the loading bay, connected to the teleporter array. Besides some infested synths, we could find a terminal with another group message. Okay, listen up. No pressure, but all eyes are going to be on us tomorrow. Literally, the whole team will be hanging around the array waiting for the big shipment. And when it gets here, the delicate handling will be down to us. Corey, you're with me at the array to guide the loading. Horace, you're driving as usual. Maddie, you're on the forklift in the hub. It's a lot of meat, guys, but once it's upstairs, we're all good. Just take it slow and steady. A lot of meat. Very tasty. I guess this stuff was pretty volatile if it takes this much prep just to move meat around. Anyway, there's a diagnostic with a biohazard warning. We can also restart the system. Wait a second, I saw that. Okay, wow, now we can progress down the tunnel to the teleportation array. In theory, that's where the meat came in. Doesn't look like it made it too far. Oh, that's a hermit crab. A hermit crab, yes. Okay, damn, that's actually pretty freaking cool. I had no idea you could have something like that in the Fallout 4 engine. Well done. Hermit crab aside, this is the array where everything went down. Let's see what happened. Well, that was Dr. West, the project lead, I guess, and his other form. It seems he used the array to open some kind of eldritch gate. This is what warped the flesh to take over and consume the facility, as well as reanimate some things that otherwise should have been not animated. To the left, we can enter the control room, and we find the control terminal with another log from Dr. West.
Already there, Adam?
Yes, sir. Green across the board.
Excellent, excellent. Adam, are you feeling quite well? Not poorly, are we?
Poorly, sir. I'm sorry, I don't follow.
It's your breathing, Adam. There's a problem with your breathing.
Sir, I'm breathing just fine.
Yes, that's the problem. Such a waste. Anyway, Dr. West to Institute Control. We're getting some interference here. I'm just going to make a few adjustments to the teleport. Parameters, please stand by. There, all done. Please initiate the transfer. Now then, where is that book? Here. Let's see. Ursnelig, Olfnag, Ustjulag, Okkwaltaf, Volsnorlig Naga, Gag. Come forth, great book, Kwaltaf. I give unto thee this flesh. Make it your own. and share with me your power.
We can also find his personal quarters and his terminal with a few logs, as well as a straight-up Necronomicon. Where the hell he got that I am unsure, but surely that played a part in the facility's transformation, as well as his. This is the real juicy stuff right here. We have 4 journal entries from Dr. West. Let's get started. The first one reads, "My darling Amy is gone." That's also the same name as his weird abomination. "For all our technology, our scientific prowess, our self-satisfied superiority over the wastelanders, we were as powerless to save my little girl as the lowliest surface-dwelling scav. They look upon me with pity. Sean came to me himself with his condolences. He sickens me, reveling in his name of father. What does he know of fatherhood? We can create life, but we cannot conquer death. Yet for too long I have sat, lazy and content with my supposed genius, but I could not save her. And yet the power to do so could have been within my grasp if I had the nerve to take it. I put too much faith in our pitiful human sciences. I thought I could find a way. I was wrong, but I am a West, and my family has long held knowledge beyond that of mortal men." Log 2. "I met with the board today. They are becoming increasingly afraid of the surface factions, the Gunners, the Minutemen, and the so-called Brotherhood of Steel. Unrelated comment here. Notice how the railroad isn't mentioned. They presented me with a plan, a series of projects designed to draw attention from the Institute. They want me to lead one of these projects, codenamed Fleshsmith. Some half-baked boogeyman and his army of cybernetic monstrosities to terrorize the barbarians of the surface. I couldn't care less. This is my chance. I will have access to vast resources, far beyond that I would normally be allocated. And better yet, the opportunity to work far from scrutiny of my peers." Log 3. "Things are progressing beyond even my most optimistic imaginings. We are isolated here, far from the prying eyes of the Institute. Let Dr. Jackson tinker with his mechanical toys. I've given the bioscience team leave to continue as they see fit. They do not bother me. They think I am grieving." Then there's some weird Eldritch language. I think it's like Kurdish or maybe Turkish or something. "I study my grandfather's book. He too was a man of learning, and was lucky enough to have been in CIT the day the bombs fell. Trapped in the lower levels, he played his part in establishing the Institute as it is today. There has always been a West in the Institute, and his secret knowledge has been passed down from father to son. And now all his dreams will be realized." Log 4. "It is time." And then there's some more Turkish, I think. "I will open the way. I will give unto him the flesh, and he will give unto me the knowledge. That which is dead need never die. I will bring her back to me." Alright, so Too Lazy didn't read. The Institute was creating projects to distract the surface factions from them, one of which was Project Fleshsmith, which essentially was to make bio-abominations to terrorize the surface and draw attention away from them. Dr. West was a descendant of one of the Institute's founders. His family was in possession of eldritch knowledge, which was passed down to him. Dr. West had lost his daughter, and with his unique position he was able to pursue alternative methods to bring her back undisturbed. With no one to stop him, his eldritch efforts went through, and we saw what happened after that. Outside of his quarters we have quite the view, as well as the teleporter terminal, which we can close the portal with. We can exit this facility with this elevator here, the very same that we saw first entering.
Ground floor.
With that, this concludes In the Flesh. Right, so some closing thoughts. To be honest, this mod was a bit short, but I was impressed. It was super fresh and tied in the base game well. The set and enemy design was stellar, and the narrative was paced well too. Very fresh and original horror experience. I would definitely recommend playing this yourself. I appreciate you watching. Let me know what you thought of this mod in the comments. I'll see you in the next vid, which is going to be pretty insane, so stick around for that. Bye.